you need to understand your strong sides, evaluate your weak points, and outsource those weak points to professionals, to experts in their niche.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the eComm Growth Show.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the eComm Growth Show. We're super excited to have with us Katerina today. She's based out of Denver, Colorado, and has an awesome story about her building a linens brand. And so, Katerina, thank you so much for joining the podcast today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Heck yeah. Why don't you start by telling us just a little bit about who you are, a little bit about the business, maybe some about your personal life, and why you do what you do.
Yeah, sure. In couple words, I like to say that I'm a mail order bride that's living an American dream. I mean, pretty much we can finish right here. I can give a couple advices and be done. If you want me to elaborate a little bit on that, I am an immigrant. I'm originally from Russia. Met the love of my life back at home. He put me in a suitcase, brought over here, and said, "Hey, that's where I live. Let's live here." I'm just kidding.
Hey, but when you filled out your form though, and you said mail order bride service, I was so confused. So thanks for clarifying on the podcast, like what you meant by that, because Robby and I were
that was all legal. That was all legal, and United States Immigration Services can confirm.
Okay, good. All right.
But seriously speaking, we moved back to States, started our family, and I'll be honest with you, I just didn't want to go back to 9-to-5 job, and I started figuring out what is that I want to do. I'm coming from the corporate world, in particular oil and gas sector, and I was always looking for that idea. That I want to make mine, and honestly, my path took me more than 10 years to finally find that idea, and that happened with my future husband to be. As he was a hot sleeper, and as a good wife, I wanted to find a solution for him, so he'll love me and marry me. And so I actually did find that solution. It was switching bed sheets. We switched those to linen, and I started diving deeper into that fabric and understanding what is it, what it stands behind, and what are the benefits of wearing linen, sleeping linen, having linen in your home. And I mean, after that, it was pretty much a done deal. I found what I want to do. And my mom certainly was a part of inspiration process, as she's a very, very crafty person. And so here I am, building linen empire one thread at a time, and involving my whole family as my inspiration, and building my generational story on top of that. As a mom of two girls, I certainly want them, to look at me and know that everything is possible. And you can be a mom and a business owner and the other 15 hats that I'm wearing every day.
Yeah, seriously. That's crazy though. So it started with your husband being a hot sleeper, and you're like, how can I solve this problem? And boom, this business was born. That's pretty inspiring. That's cool. Well,
to be fair, I kind of wanted to run my own business for a long time, but as I said, I just couldn't find what is that I wanted to be busy with. And once I realized that linen does have so many amazing benefits, health benefits for our bodies, for our everyday life, it was an easy choice. Linen is also sustainable, and it's absolutely, I'll tell you guys, it's an absolutely beautiful thing to run a sustainable business in the 21st century.
Yeah, totally. I got to come clean on something, because I think I need a pair of your sheets, because at home, here's the weird thing is I shower about twice as much as my wife, but my side of the bed
is it brown a little bit?
Completely stained and oily for some reason. I think it's because I'm sweating all night.
Dude, I have that same problem.
I always got to kick my feet out too.
Yeah, we're hot sleepers.
So there you
We
go.
need some linen.
That's a very common thing, and maybe it is TMI, but it's like many other subjects that we think are way too personal and not talk about them, not touch them. It turns out that a lot of people are experiencing the same. I have only like sad topics coming to my head as an example, so we're not gonna touch those. But yeah, going back to being a hot sleeper, a lot of people are dealing with that. You guys will never hit a wonderful, in parentheses, a wonderful period in your life when you're gonna hit a menopause, but a lot of women will, and that's, she might have not been a sweaty person ever, but what I hear from all my older pals and my clients and customers, that it is a problem.
Yeah.
And you cannot find a relief. And if during the day, you can drink some cold water, you can, put your head in the freezer, things like that. What do you do at night? You have to sleep, and that interrupts your sleep. You toss and turn, and you wake up in a puddle of sweat. Yeah. Lovely dreams, right?
Yeah.
So the beauty of linen, if I may share, is in the natural nature. I know that's not really English, but anyway, so it's in the fibers. The fibers are coming directly from the flax plant, and they're just so wholesome in a sense that they absorb moisture. They are different from cotton, that they get dry very quickly, so you actually are not sitting in your own sweat. Besides, they're definitely breathable, they're thermoregulating. So let's say if you're a hot sleeper and your partner is not a problem. Linen is gonna thermoregulate your body temperature and keep you cool during hot summer nights and keep you warm during winter. So it's truly a versatile all year round fabric.
That's awesome. So you came up with the idea and had a pretty good sense that it was going to be a great solution for people. What was the next step? Did you try it out for yourselves, or what was the response you were getting when you started to bring it to people outside of your own home?
That's a great question. Look, I'm not the first one who figured out that linen is amazing. This is one of those products that has thousands of years of expertise and feedback and everything. Like our ancestors from like ancient Egypt were using linen for a reason, and it was and it always considered to be a luxury fabric. So of course linen was here in States much before I got here, right? My other goal, besides bringing linen to American families and convincing them in a way that they need to sleep on natural and breathable fabrics to start with. You can sleep on cotton as well. I personally think cotton is so much less than linen, but nonetheless, it is natural and it is breathable, so it's much better than any synthetic fabric that you're gonna sleep in. I wanted my business to be sustainable. Yay, I made the right choice. Linen is already sustainable by itself. But then another goal was to make it affordable. When I started looking into that, there were plenty of companies who were offering linen bedding, and the makeover of your bed would easily cost you $800. I thought that that's a little too much for let's say for a family of 4. Yeah. So my other goal was to make it more affordable. So I cannot answer questions simple and to the point, so you got the whole long story, and now I'll get to answering your question. So my next step was certainly to do a research and to find the best provider for the linen, and then I certainly went to Europe because that's where the best flax grows, and I wanted to keep it close to the production. So basically it was the next step was the research process to make sure that I do get the best quality, that I make sure that it is becoming affordable. Maybe some business guru is going to tell me like, hey girl, you're having completely wrong business model, but I am cutting my profits in order to make my product more affordable, just because I truly believe that everybody should have linen in their life. That's, that's an investment in your own health, and we should all make that switch.
Yeah, that's really cool you're doing that. So once you kind of did all the research, you got the product you wanted, what was your next step from there?
Look, the next step is marketing. I think there is nothing else to add here, and I certainly made a lot of mistakes on that path. And please feel free to laugh. I graduated with economics and marketing degree. Unfortunately, by the time I left my school desk, all the knowledge that I got there was already outdated. And here we are living in the world of Facebook and Instagram, and you're taking your sweet time. You're behind. And that's where I'm coming back again to the topic of marketing. Of course, I thought, I'm so amazing. I'm so great. My product is so wonderful. My mission is even better. It's all going to pick up by itself. I don't need to do anything. Google's going to find me right away, and all the people's going to find me right away. I don't need to tell you guys that didn't work that way.
But you had a website built and everything. You had your products up on there. Did you do any type of Kickstarter campaign, or did you just start telling your friends and family about it, or how'd you initially start getting traction?
To be fair, I took the first full year to do my own testing. I had an idea, and I really before investing any serious money into the business, I wanted to make sure that it's working and there is really interest. It's not that only I think that everybody needs to sleep on linen and everybody knows what linen is. And so I started with my first product that was a bathrobe. Just because, less fabric, less work, much easier to ship and to transport around. And so basically, I was just on Instagram. I was organically developing my account that had, 5 friends following it, and gradually started getting some traction there. And pretty much after a year, I was sure, okay, I can totally start working in this niche. That's when I started developing much bigger items, such as bedsheets, which are the main part of the business. And then all the other items. We're not done. We're definitely not done with our product line. I feel like we're in the beginning of our truly growing and scaling process. So after getting all of those basic first steps done, started doing advertising on Google, realized that I was a little too small and it was taking a little too much money and not bringing any results. And then we switched to social, and that has been working well for us.
Awesome.
You ask, Rob.
I thought you were prepared to ask.
No, I have questions too, but I don't want to take the whole floor here.
That's awesome. So throughout your process, how many years have you been going now?
So we're on our 3rd year.
Okay. So what are some of the biggest learning lessons that you've had over the last 3 years?
I think the biggest one is, you really need to invest your time in finding the right partner. Just do your due diligence, and there is just so much stuff on the market. I don't need to tell you that there are lawyers and engineers who are putting together marketing plans and marketing courses and pushing it in your face, just buy, and then buy more. Don't look that I have a lawyer education. I build a business. It's not very successful, but that's okay. I'll build yours. That's unfortunately a hard lesson that I learned, that I had to truly do a due diligence before partnering with this or the other marketing agency. Probably there is another way to do that, as you can sit down and learn and really dig into this whole thing. But if you're doing that, then who's running your business? So I'm a believer that you need to understand your strong sides, evaluate your weak points, and outsource those weak points to professionals, to experts in their niche. And that's where you need to to devote some time in doing your due diligence.
Yeah, that's super huge. I feel like a lot of people fall into that trap because at some point, like you said, you wear multiple hats in the business. And so after a certain point, you do need to start outsourcing things where, you don't either have a capacity to do that or even a desire or the proper skills to do that at the level where you're wanting to go. So being able to figure that out, but then spending some time in research to get somebody in place who can do that almost better than you, right? And I think that's the key to a lot of people growing. And sometimes it's not about just getting the first person on board who says they can do it, because as we all know, there's a lot of people out there who say they can provide XYZ, and maybe they don't even have experience in doing that or don't have a proven track record, things of that sort. So I think that's super huge. It's a big learning lesson that if somebody watching this can just latch on to that one idea and try to avoid that for themselves, they're going to be, it's going to put them ahead months and months and months in their journey as an online store.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What I love about you said.
Share.
Oh, go ahead, Kat.
Sorry, I apologize. I'll share. I do have control issues, and I think this is. I don't know. I'm curious to hear if you guys agree with that or not. But would you think that's the common adjective of a business owner? To have control issues.
We see it from time to time. Like for us, we've always. It's been a process to give up control as you grow and delegate things out, but we've always tried to find someone that's better than we are at that specific thing. And we've done a really good job at that. And when someone's better at it, then it's like, okay, I can trust you and empower you to grow that. But we also see people that try to keep control over it. And then the person that they put in place there doesn't thrive, can't grow it on their own, and it almost caps that person, which then kind of caps the growth of the company.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not saying this is you, but that is something pretty common you come across is why hire somebody and then micromanage them, because you may as well just be doing it yourself if that's the case. If you're gonna try and approve every single little thing they do and really run that, then you may as well just be doing it yourself. And so I think that is another learning lesson for people, is if you are going to get somebody in to do something for you, give them the opportunity to shine, right?
Absolutely. I just wanted to share my journey in that I do have control issues, and it's hard for me to delegate, because this baby, as I like to say, that's my second baby. I had my first daughter, then I opened the company, then I had my second daughter. Just like I do due diligence with daycares, that's the same way. I'm gonna, do my research before I'm gonna give out the part of the business. And it's hard, but you have to do it. Otherwise, you're just drowning in the amount of work, and which causes stress, which not healthy for anybody. And even linen cannot help with the stress, even if you wrap yourself like a mummy.
I totally appreciate you saying that, because I think for all business owners, it is hard to give up, little bits of control here and there, because it's your baby. It's what you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into, and you're there to make sure that it grows. And so it is hard to give up that control. But I think the idea that we always try to fall back on is the idea that, when you have a vision and you have the right people in place, you can do more together than each person could do, if they were going to go do their own thing. And so just kind of like having that partnership, that collaborative environment, that's what makes businesses special, I think, is that they can do more together than if you were to add everything up that people could do individually.
100%.
That's a good learning lesson though, Kat. You're dropping straight fire today. So I wanted to ask, we kind of went through your learning lesson, or one of your biggest learning lessons, and sent us on a rabbit trail. What's something that you think you did really, really well in that? Because we kind of focus on maybe a mistake, but what's something you've done really well to bring you where you're at today?
I think an important thing is to go your own way. I had one of my articles has been published in Forbes, and they don't publish just anything. So
Oh yeah,
that's your mark
a big
of approval behind my statements. So I said there that basically you need to go your own way, and you need to act. I think. One of the steps that is absolutely necessary is to learn your competition, is to learn your competitors. But then don't compare yourself to them. They have their own path. Maybe they're making their own mistakes. By copying them, maybe you're going to copy their mistakes. Why? Do your own ones, right?
Yeah.
I still, like, up till today, I have those issues of people, industries, just like different spheres of my life. They're trying to affect my decisions in bringing new products into our product line. And let's say there are certain things can be done easier and cheaper if let's say I'm gonna blend linen with cotton. I'm gonna get a great fabric. It's gonna lose some of those amazing linen properties that I stand behind. And I just hear it from so many different places. Hey, Kat, do that. It's gonna be cheaper. It's gonna be faster. It's gonna be easier. It's gonna be cheaper for your customers. Everyone's gonna love it. You're gonna get it right away, while I'm battling here how to make this or that design out of like pure linen, and it's not quite working from the first time. And we're developing prototypes, and then everything is ready, and then we put it to wash, and all of a sudden it shrink twice as much. Like, I cannot sell that. So we go back and keep on testing. I'm going the long way. But why I'm telling this story is because I'm convinced that if I have my vision, if I stick to it without trying to get an easier way here and there, I'm gonna be bigger, and I'm gonna grow, and I'm gonna stay here for many, many years, versus being another brand that's just gonna be for a couple of years on the market and then die by itself. One step that I already overcome was with the packaging. Everybody tell you like, oh, just put it in a plastic bag and ship it. Like, why do you care about paying extra for recyclable packaging? Why do you care about your labels being printed on recyclable paper? And further and further. Because I'm working with sustainable fabric. I'm bringing it across the world, and then if I'm putting it in a plastic bag and shipping it to you because that's going to be $5 cheaper for me, I think it sucks.
That's such a good point.
I think it kills the whole purpose. Like, why would I talk about that I care about planet Earth and my grandchildren still living on it, right? And not like dying from this like bad air and all the pollution that my business added to the footprint of all the businesses, right? I want to make it right. And we do recycle in Beflax Linen office. We do have solar panels that generate green energy. We did purchase an electric car in order to run our orders to the carriers.
That's
in a
cool.
more efficient way. And I read, and I'm part of one of the sustainability groups, and there was a great meme there that basically said, you don't need to do recycling perfectly. A lot of people need to do it imperfectly. And I think that's a very good thought behind it.
That's awesome. I love what you said too about just having vision, not trying to take shortcuts to get to that vision, and just sinking into the journey. And you're only 3 years in, and to be saying that at this stage is really awesome and impressive. And I love having long-term vision and settling into that. I actually just saw a quote the other day that said, quit worrying about the next 45 days and worry about the 45-year legacy that you're going to build with your business. So
Absolutely.
so cool to think about it like that. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Awesome. So, sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, you didn't. I just look. I'm not saying that it's all. I don't want to give an impression that it's all easy and I'm just like so determined and I'm not gonna be like everybody else. That's why I'm gonna pick the hard way. I just truly believe that the more you put in, and again, I'm repeating your words. If you have a mission, if you have a goal, just stick to it. Don't let others get you off that path.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, guys, we're coming close to the end of our time. If you had one piece of advice to give to somebody who's, kind of in that growth stage in their first 3 years in their online store, if you could only tell them one thing, what would you tell them?
Oh goodness. Act. I guess this is. I think in 2021, you just need to be. You cannot sit. You cannot sit and wait. And I'll be honest with you. I look at some of the linen brands that started just 3 years before me, while I was still thinking and figuring out the U.S. soil and how things work here. They're already moving to the next step of their business. They're like growing bigger and developing more things, and I already want to be there too. What I should have done differently, I shouldn't have waited those 3 years and just started putting the time into work right away. So I guess I'll stick to that advice. Yeah. Besides all the other great advices that I shared today.
Yeah.
Act and don't wait and make your own mistakes, because mistakes is not something that pushes you back, even though it might seem like that in the beginning. It gives you experience that you cannot get anywhere. And, sometimes experience costs you something, but that's okay, because no one's going to take it away from you.
Awesome. Well, guys, if there's anyone out there that's sitting on the sidelines thinking about starting a business, take Kat's advice, act on it, implement it. There's going to be hard times. There might be bumps along the way, but have that long vision to push through. Maybe someday you can get to the point where you built a brand like Kat's, where it was just a dream at one point, but now it becomes your reality. Thanks so much for coming on, Kat. We really enjoyed it. We'll have your website in the show notes so people can check out your brand. Everyone needs to go get linen sheets. I know Robby and I are going to get some after what we shared. So I'm excited for that. If you guys know anyone that this would be helpful to, please share it, rate us, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.